what about the fact, though, that they did fall short of the pace that's needed to attain that goal that Musk laid out in terms of 50% annual growth? Is that still attainable?
But I mean, so I think 50% was really something they took off the table on the last earnings. I mean, now, granted, the longer term 50% goal, but really the number that the street investors are focused on is 1.8 million. And I think if you look at that, they are on or actually ahead of that pace. And that's why right now, of course, there's a lot of bulls and bears in terms of that tug of war. Despite the stock doing what it's doing, I think the bulls ultimately won this battle.
But Dan, ultimately it comes down to this price action. I mean, we're talking about a market cap almost 3 times Toyota, $602 billion for Tesla, $231 billion for Toyota. Is that even near justified with the demand we're seeing for Tesla?
Look, and that's always the debate, right? I mean, if you look going back to Tesla Mini, they hated it at $5 billion. They despised it at $1 trillion and pulled the hair out at $600 billion. I mean, I just have always viewed it as a disruptive technology player and not a traditional auto player. That's why I view apples to oranges when you compare them just to the likes of a Toyota or others. I believe they deserve more of a disruptive tech multiple. And I think that's what you've seen happen to the stock, especially over the last few months. Now, with that said, they're held to a higher standard and they need to continue to produce. But I still think we're in the early innings of this green tidal wave playing out, a $5 trillion market in terms of EVs.
Dan, what about the price cuts? Clearly, they are helping sales right now. Now there's talk of further price cuts ahead. Do you buy that, given the fact, and put it in your own words, the murky macro picture right now?
Look, but they've had to ultimately rip the Band-Aid off. I think that was the smart poker move that Musk did earlier this year. It's a big reason why the stock's up. Now, of course, the debate will be, do they need to do more price cuts? I think in China, you'll see some more slight price cuts, potentially in the U.S. as well as the arms race plays out. But because of their margin structure, it gives them so much more flexibility than other vendors to do these price cuts. And I think that really continues to be the story here, especially as battery costs ultimately get reduced over the coming months and years.